It is Thursday, June 22nd, and boy, I tell you, the 4th of July is fast approaching.
It really is.
And,
It really is. You got your raincoat today?
I do have that in my galoshes.
Galoshes.
Yes.
And your storm hat and everything. It's wet out there. If you don't know it, it's raining. So, we're glad to be with you.
Yeah.
We had an interesting day yesterday. Share a moment with you. We were up at Virginia Tech, Virginia Polytechnical, at a conference with Carter Bank and Trust, and got to see their side of banking and understand that better. We have a great partnership with them where we're their independent investment arm, and we were fortunate to be part of that. We got to hear an interesting speaker, several speakers yesterday. And one, in effect, said this, and it was so dramatic and so pointed, I actually went out in the hall and waited for it and asked her to clarify it. Not that I needed to have clarification on what she said, but I wanted to know why she said that. And what she said, her expertise is to work with banking. She goes all over the country giving talks, works with bankers, works with companies. And she is 100% sure, this is it, 100% sure that we are going into a recession. And I thought to be in an event.
Yeah, and we thought we've been in a recession for a better part of a year, so we agree with her.
But to be in an event where you're in front of an audience that's brought you in, 100 prominent bankers of a prominent company to make that. So I called her in the hallway and I said, tell me why you would say that. And she listed two things. She said, one, in her opinion, the Fed has gone too far, too fast, and that the market itself has not had chance to catch up to the effects of the rate increases. And when it does, it's going to drive it into a recession.
Yep. And I would add to that a stat that I read this morning that since 1900, when we've had an inversion in the 2-year and 10-year Treasury, which we've talked about on this show a bunch, that you have an 80% chance of having a full-blown recession. So if you have an inversion, which now the inversion between the 2 and the 10 is 100 basis points, you're going to have a recession most likely. And so I would go with that data too.
Her second reason was in her going around giving talks all over the United States, talking to prominent business groups. She looks at leading indicators, not lagging indicators, and the one she has been focused on is in transportation. And she has noticed that in transportation, air, freight, and then also packaging, that it's slowing down. The volume is not as great. It's not as many packages going on. You said, however, that you're trying to support the United
I'm
States
trying to single-handedly carry all of the retail
through Amazon and your new house that you're buying. But
right.
Besides Gibb, the economy
I'm the only one.
is slowing down. So I was interested in someone else's perception and why I bring this and why we bring this to you. Again, we're still in the pause mode. We have had money mature. We got more money coming in July maturing, and we're just really waiting to see when is the right time, when is the dip to begin to buy in. We know we need to do it, but for now, the flashing red lights are saying to us, just hang in there. And so that's what we're saying.
And it's the human way to fear of missing out on a rally, which, we've seen the market up pretty substantially on the S&P this year. And I know there's a lot of you that are tuning in and saying, shouldn't we be getting in at a higher rate? And the problem with that is that while you might miss out on some of the uptick, you're going to get all of the downside if you get in a market too soon.
Many of you are talking to us. We had a great call on our show just a little bit ago from a very good client who's very astute, asked the question, shouldn't we get into tech or should we not get into tech because it's run so far, so fast, and it's so high? and we talked it through, and we said that is an area you should be in, but let's look for a little bit of a pullback to get into some of the major pieces. So there we are. So yesterday was a good event. We were proud to be with our friends and partners at Carter Bank and Trust, but we're glad to be back here with you. Liz and EJ were with us, and they did a good job. And Jess was too. That's correct. Jess, in fact, Jess kind of put the whole thing together for us. So Jess and EJ and Liz and you and me. So we were on the road yesterday. We're glad to be back here. Call us if you have any questions. We do this each and every week because we know it is your money.
And your money matters.
See you next week.